Hello, everyone. It is Ravens week. Enough said. As good a rivalry as you'll see in the league. And I'm going to dig into some general things, Steelers-Ravens here. There's a lot of, as you can imagine, interesting tidbit. So, all-time rivalry. This is, the Ravens became the Ravens in 1996. The Steelers lead the series 35-25, and then I included 4 playoff matchups in there. Steelers are 3-1 in the playoffs. They won 6 of the first 7 meetings. They also won 7 of the last 8. They've swept Baltimore 3 of the past 4 seasons. Tomlin is 21-16 against the Ravens. So Steelers got the better of them, but it's been a pretty great battle, obviously. As you know, the Steelers are 7-3. They're on a 2-game winning streak. They're 2-1 in the North. This is Steelers' first divisional game, as you know. The Ravens are 3-2 on the road, while the Steelers are 3-1 at home. Baltimore's 7-3. Steelers 7-2. I misspoke there. Steelers are on a 4-game winning streak. They're 3-1 at home. This will be the first time in 10 years that Baltimore and Pittsburgh meet with both teams 4 games or better over 500. Pretty crazy. So in the 56 regular season matchups, these two teams are only separated by 35 points total. And this is even crazier. 26 of their 32 meetings since 2008 have been a one-score game. Most in the NFL. All these division teams play equal amounts, 26 out of 32. Point differential. The Ravens are at plus 65. The Steelers are at plus 69. Obviously, those are both amongst the best in the league. Both the Steelers' losses this season were by 3 points in week 4 and 5, as you know. But their -3 average point differential per loss is the lowest in the NFL this year. The Ravens, meanwhile, have 3 losses by a combined 15 points. So we're going there with this is if you look at every team's losses only, what's their average margin of defeat? The Steelers being -3 is the best in the league. And boy, I'd like to have those 2 games back too. BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number 1 source for online betting. From the earliest odds to in-game live betting, BetOnline provides you all the action and ability to watch the games as they happen. With the largest selections of odds on everything football, NBA and college basketball, NHL and UFC and MMA, head to BetOnline today and get in on the action with America's most trusted site for online wagering. BetOnline, the game starts here. This is one of the crazier things I've dug up too. So when Lamar faces a team that has a winning record, this year and last year combined, going back to 2023, he's 11-1. 11-1 against teams that have a winning record. They could be 11-0 and whenever you meet them. That's insane. Baltimore scored 9 more touchdowns than their opponents. They average 1.3 more passing yards per attempt. They have 18 more sacks and average 2.3 more rushing yards per attempt. 2.3. They average 109.2 rushing yards per game more and average 62 more yards from scrimmage than they allow. That's bonkers stuff. They have a +4 turnover ratio. Steelers are at +9, which is only behind Buffalo. Baltimore and Pittsburgh have just 7 and 6 turnovers respectively. The Chargers and Commanders are the only 2 offenses with less than 6. Baltimore has thrown just 2 interceptions. Pittsburgh has only thrown 2 interceptions all year. The Chargers with 1 is the only team better. So Steelers time possessions now at 32-12 compared to 30-50 for Baltimore. Last week, the Ravens held the football for only 10:35 in the first half. That's the lowest time of possession for any half with Jackson as the Ravens starting quarterback. Meanwhile, the Steelers were at 36-11 against Washington. This makes me crazy, and frankly, I can't remember if I brought it up to you guys or not. I think I have, but it's worth talking about again. So they have a rest advantage in this game. They played Thursday night, so they get 3 more days of rest than the Steelers. But for the entire schedule, and the NFL should never let this happen, the Ravens have 16 more days of rest than their collective opponents. That's the largest one in NFL history, or at least since it's been tracked, but I'm almost certain it's in NFL history too. You're plus 16 on rest days through the whole season. Like, that should have been caught and corrected before the schedule came out. I really believe that. That is a significant advantage, and it's a key one for this game. So Russell Wilson has the NFL's longest current streak of games, 22, with a touchdown pass. 22 straight games he's thrown a touchdown pass. Lamar Jackson is second with 17. Wilson has 32 TDs versus 9 interceptions since the start of last year. That's the third most touchdowns with less than 10 interceptions during that stretch. Jackson is first with a 48-9 TD ratio going back to last year. Ravens throw the ball at a 48.6% clip. The Steelers are at 46.7%. Only the Eagles throw it at a lower rate than these two teams. And those 3 teams are collectively a 21-7. Eagles, Steelers, and Ravens. 21 wins, 7 losses. The Ravens and Steelers are facing the highest percentage of run plays between the tackles in the league. Interesting. Pittsburgh's offense produces 51.2 more rushing yards per game than the Steelers allow. Baltimore's at plus 109.6. This is a big problem for the Ravens right now, too. They've committed 24 more penalties than their opponents for 228 more penalty yards. So you've given away your opponents 228 more penalty yards than you. I mean, that's like a whole game's worth of offense. They committed 11 penalties last week for 81 yards. Their accepted penalties and penalty yards per game are most in the league. The Ravens are the third team in NFL history to score 20-plus points and produce 375 yards in each of their first 10 games. This offense is awesome, I'm telling you what. So they had a streak of 100-yard games that came to an end last week. There was 42 in a row. It was the third longest, since it's been broken, it's over. Third longest streak in NFL history. But they could have got there if Lamar didn't kneel. I think he kneeled twice to end the game, which took him from like 101 yards to 99. So take that how you will. But I also find it pretty interesting that the 2 teams that have the longer streak than the one that was just broken are the 2018 to 2021 Ravens and the 1974 to 1977 Steelers. So again, it comes back to these teams all the time. Teams that begin the season 8-2, that would be if the Steelers win, go to the playoffs 97.3% of the time and win their division 76.7%. If you start the season 7-3, if they lose this game, that goes to 84.6% and win the division 51.7%. So explosive play rate. And the NFL, explosive plays are any play over 15 yards per the NFL. Ravens offense is first in explosive play rate, and their defense is last. So their defense is even their defense is third best in allowing explosive runs. But they're such a distant 32nd in allowing explosive pass plays. 12% of the time the ball's thrown against them goes for 15 or more yards. That they're last overall, even though they're third best against the runs. Meanwhile, their offense is first in explosive pass rate, second in explosive run rate. I mean, to be first and last in these categories is bonkers to me. All right, I will really break down the matchups tomorrow. I just thought this was a fun team rivalry to kind of talk about some things Steelers-Ravens overall. All right, take care.